What is going on, everybody? Lukey Boy is back again for another video. Today we are going to be talking about LooksRare. So the reason I'm sort of going to talk about this is there's potential for some arbitrage and pretty much arbitrage opportunities between marketplaces, and this may improve over time as new marketplaces open up. Because everything's connected through MetaMask. And so you don't need to like transfer things to different marketplaces to sell. You can just connect your MetaMask and then you can start selling away or buying away, whatever you want to do. And so this is obviously a more recent platform. This is one of the platforms that gave me an airdrop of like, well, I think I sold at $1,600 for the free airdrop, but I think I could have sold it at like 5,000 if I just held. But it doesn't matter. You never know that kind of thing, do you? Just like the basically flipping or arbitrage of NFTs, you don't know where the potential upside is. You just want to make sure you're making some profits as much as possible, of course, but keeping your strategy in place rather than trying to do everything and find out that doing a bit of everything is probably not as good as doing lots of one thing and being laser focused in that niche. So let's get into this a little bit. So the good thing about this is that the fees are usually cheaper, just as something to side note, and when you sell, or I think when you buy, I'm not entirely sure, I haven't used it hugely, you get rewards basically, and you can stake those rewards. Like I've got 2.2 looks, about $10 worth, and that was just by selling one of my NFTs for like 0.37. And it's just nice to have something as a reward rather than getting all those fees attributed to your account like you do with Opensea. So something interesting, for arbitrage. Well, actually, I'll show you what I did. I've started like dabbling with sort of putting offers in and selling and all that kind of thing, because I'm just, obviously I want to get involved to see what's going on. But you can see here, I listed the this collection here, basically, the Terraformers by Math Castle, and you can see the floor here, 0.35, give or take. And the total volume is crazy, but there was a lot of wash trading where people were basically selling it to like another account and buying it from another account to earn like loads of rewards. And so obviously long term that won't be there applicable, but like with any new platform, people can game the system to try to make a small percentage. In a way, it's like an arbitrage, but you're making the arbitrage on cashback, for example, kind of like that. So don't necessarily take that into consideration. Obviously, you want to make sure something's got volume, as always. Otherwise, it's not going to sell. And if on the flip side, it might be more expensive on here than buying on Opensea because there's no volume. So people are listed higher, and there's less people listing and all that. This is obviously the main marketplace, but it doesn't mean that there's not opportunities here. Because if you go to Terraform by Math Castle, we can just look at today, but not that is just necessarily guaranteed, but 0.3 and 0.34. Now, if I go to activity, and you want to obviously check the sales, an hour ago, 49 Ethereum, interesting. Yeah, so this is how you game the system. See, this person's basically sold it to himself and bought it back. So you can see 19170020, and then it's gone back. And this guy or girl will gain rewards. I still don't 100% know how to use this, but they're going to get a percentage anyway. I don't know what it is. We're not worried about that, but you can see that that's the reason there's like a gazillion percentage of probably the same as there. Yeah, they're basically trying to game the system. That's why it's like some stupid volume. So they get their rewards, and then they can like stake those rewards, or they can basically those rewards will equal some sort of upside potential benefit to them, whatever they're doing. So we can. Someone's really gone harder here, haven't they? And this is a wrap teeth bid, so they basically just sent themselves a bid, accepted it, and moved on. But anyway, I noticed that it was before this craziness doing that, and I listed mine for zero, basically whatever the floor was. So obviously the floor was higher here. I listed it for 0.3699 or something. But back in the day, it was like the other day. If we go to my activity, when was it that I sold it? It was bought 3 days ago, right here. It's for this amount. Actually, 7% above floor. Interesting. Oh, I see. Most of it. This wasn't a wrap teeth bid. It was that most they have like a when you sell things, it's usually done in like wrap teeth, and sometimes you get 50-50 split. Sometimes you just get wrap teeth. All good for me. It's still fine, you know. But 3 days ago on this, ignore that average price and all. It says 0. This is the thing. It's difficult to see. Maybe I can find it in here. I don't believe it's going to be here, no. Because on this software they have actual floor prices, this is just average price. Maybe we can find it if we go back 3 days ago. Would be like what, 24, 48, 72. Somewhere around here. It's hard to obviously judge. You can see here 0.28. You've got to just basically look for the. Mine was just a common one, 0.28. Let's just say it was about 0.28. Obviously, there's going to be some that are higher, 0.27, yeah, 0.28, 0.27, something like that. I just basically was listing at the floor to sell mine, ultimately. And I managed to sell it, obviously, for higher. And so, you know, there's a potential for arbitrage, because if you can see what I'm talking about, in this case, I wanted to sell it, so I listed it here because I noticed that there was some volume. Of course, we just discovered that is like wash trading going on that collection, but there was still volume and people were buying, and they're buying for normal price, you know, normal amounts rather than stupid amounts. And I thought, oh, I can get a slight premium on this website, and I might as well give it a go and try it. And I did get $10 of rewards for that as well, as a little extra. The fees are better. Obviously, they're different for every collection and all that, so you'd have to check when you do that. But you know, something that I'm interested in going forward is, you know, not that it's going to work 100%, because that's why you've got to test it. But these critters, if you go back here and you go on the critters, you can see they're 1 ETH floor. Let's just do that. And on here, obviously, the floor is higher. Now, that's not going to say that anyone's going to be buying at that price, but it's worth, you know, when you're working with higher numbers as well, you'll be able to find some arbitrage, because you'll be able to potentially make 0.2 or 0.5. Obviously, if you've got 10 ETH that you're selling something for, and on here it's, you know, 9.2, you could potentially sell it on the LooksRare for the floor or under the floor, and then buy back in cheaper. Obviously, you'd have to double check your fees and gas and all that kind of thing, but there was definitely potential for that. And obviously, I went and did the flip side. I went and sold higher, and in theory, I could have then bought back in on the same collection on the Maths Castle for cheaper, even though it wouldn't have been much cheaper. But you do that in scale. You scale that, and you can make, you know, slithers here and there, 0.05, 0.0. If you can do that a couple of times a day, or if you can get 0.2 on a slightly more expensive collection, and you know, you can see it's only got 12 ETH traded, and so it's not particularly anything crazy. Like someone, except, you know, sold theirs for this the other day, 17 hours ago, 0.74. And on here, if you go back to activity, how many hours ago was it? 17. You can come back, it was selling for 0.85. So again, you could potentially, and that was only for like a real short amount of time, look, and then it went back up to 1. So you could go, oh look, there's a potential for that. I can buy, or try to buy here, because you can put as many bids in as you want pretty much. And nothing happens if you spend that money later or convert it back to Ethereum and stuff. And then you could go onto here, and yeah, so you pay 0.74, and you can go in here and you can sell it. Sorry, I'm trying to getting a bit confused there. And then you can potentially sell it for like 1 Ethereum in the around here. And so you're getting in at a slightly cheaper price. Of course, like you can use that you can use that in many ways to sort of do flips if you want to do flips, potentially. Obviously, I like to use the software, but that's also another kind of undertone. And something cool that I did on this is I put a make collection offer. I obviously want to pick up a critters. I put a make collection offer on, here it is, for 0.9, for basically every single one. So on Opensea, you've got to go into every single one of these and like put an offer on. On here, I just put a generic across the board bid at 0.9. Now, something that's interesting that you can do, or maybe do, is that if we went to critters, let's say that the floor suddenly goes really low quite quickly, and you pick up a cheap one or whatever. You can come here and it says offers for 2.1 because people have been putting offers across the board, and so it's open to every single one, every single NFT. And you could come in and you could basically start here and accept. I haven't got this, so I can't accept. And these offers are applicable to every single NFT on the collection rather than specifically targeted collections. Yeah. What I mean by that is obviously people will target the ones they want on here, but because it's so easy on here to put it across the board, people can put bids in. And if you're quick, then you could obviously go and accept a bid for like 1.61 if you picked it up for 1 Ethereum and hope it's still active. This is not a guarantee. So what I mean by that is that this could have expired, or someone could have already taken this, or actually no, someone wouldn't have already taken this because it would disappear, but it expires in 10 days. But you really want, yeah, this was active 21 days ago, and so it's probably not going to be alive anymore. And what I mean by that is that someone will, in theory, someone can go, okay, it's not worth that anymore. I'm going to take off my Ethereum in here, and I'm going to convert it back to Ethereum. What that means is that when someone goes to accept that, and what I mean is I'll show you I'll actually show you what it looks like. Let me just go on here. Activity offer, sorry. If you go to accept, it comes up like this. This person who does not have enough wraps ETH. So, but if you do it, if you're alert to what is around, I come on every morning and have a look. Like, is there arbitrage opportunities? Can I maybe, I'm just looking at the things that I own here. That's a potential arbitrage opportunity. Oops. It's selling for 0.24, and that doesn't mean that it's actually selling for that. Obviously, that's the price. Let me go on to this. Yeah, so I'm not going to do this. Yeah, it's not there. But yeah, you could come on and you could quickly find opportunities like that. It doesn't mean you're going to find them all the time, of course. You're going to have to get used to how everything works. This was done 19 days ago, so you would look for you would look for something. Oh, it's just come on, and you can go and actually see like offers on your collections pretty quickly by doing this. So you could just come here and be like, "Yep, I know all these. I know that all of these exist. All good. I've tried them, and anything that new comes on, you can come and try to do an arbitrage on that." And it's just something really interesting because what I would like to try to do is not really it is arbitrage, but it's not. It's like if I notice, something on this, and I'm like, oh, top offer 0.16. Obviously, it's not there, but if it was there, you can then jump back and potentially buy something cheaper and make a small profit. So you're getting back in on the collection on, say, Opensea, or on here if it's cheaper. But then you're making a small premium. And so you are doing arbitrage, but you're not actively seeking out the arbitrage. You're actually just doing it on any collections that you own. So yeah, you come down here, you see something, I don't know, wherever, 0.53. You could actually go and see is that active. If you click this, yes, it is. Okay, bear that in mind. So if that was higher, because obviously right now that collection is like 0.8, so it's a bit of a gap, yeah. But if it was like 0.75, let's say, and it was active, you could be like, okay, right, so if this drops, which things do, if this drops to, 0.65, 0.7, obviously you'd have to work out the fees and go into detail. If it dropped down to whatever, it's not going to work all the time, but once you get like a slick process of understanding, right, I know that that's there. Come in and and every day just looking like, can I sell something? Is the floor price higher on this? So I came onto the in-betweeners. The floor price is 0.85. The in-betweeners on here is 0.75. Yeah. Where is it, Mr. In-betweeners? 0.75, 0.745. So in theory, if I could sell on here, I could buy back in. So someone. Sales, yeah. So you can see here the sales were not that often, but if you've got something that can sell for 3 or 4 ETH, and then you can buy back in at 3.6, you're making a saving. And worst case, it doesn't pan out, but you have to learn from that, and you're still making more money than you would. You're still making profits, and all that kind of thing. I'm really experimenting with it right now. I'm just getting used to what to look at on here. I'm putting offers on collections for under, so I could try to pick up. So something like Desperate Ape Wives, is good for bids. And I did actually sell one, so I could pick up a Chris's, but I still can't afford it by like the tiniest fraction. I saw it at 0.6x yesterday, this morning. But if you go activity, you should be able to see, 9 hours ago, 0.55, 0.5. Yeah. So if you could pick these up by mass, so basically, because the reason that that's happening is because there's very little volume, and so people just want to get it, and they know they're going to have to wait a while to sell. And if they wait a while, this floor price could drop even further, and then they're even further away from the price they want to sell. And so people that want to get liquidity quick because they want to buy things now, let's say there's something that they really want to buy now and they want to sell, there's not tons, but if you can go on here and do a batch collection, and you can just go, I can go 0.5 now. Well, why not? Let's see. I'm going to sell it for like a day because I'm really not that worried. Well, let's do it now. Why not? Oh, let's see how much it costs. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, because I've listed on that collection. 0.5. There we go. So it's the same with the Opensea. Once you've listed on that collection, it's all free. And otherwise, it costs me about $10 to like sell something or to do this. Yeah. And so obviously I can go and check my activity. And it takes like, there's only a few clicks to do that. It's really, if you just go on to, I might even do it on Desperate Ape Wives. Maybe I can just go like, yeah, why not? I mean, if you do that enough, it's gonna work. And we just go make collection offer 0. So what you can do is you can probably go, okay, 0.55 seems to be the activity offers. I'll have to go on to my items. Let's see, where is my Desperate? Here, offers. This was on 20 days ago. If I click accept, invalid. Okay, next one, 0.5, invalid. 0.45. So 0.455 is the cheapest offer at the moment that's available. And so I could go, okay, at 0.46. So I am now the highest offer that could be accepted. And if that gets accepted, I could instantly come in. I've already listed on this collection before, so it's free. And I could go and look to make 0.1. I could go and list it for a bit under this. Try to capture a rare or something, possibly, or a rarer one. Don't just... I guess you wouldn't be able to do that because it's on the whole collection, so you wouldn't have chosen. But, you could do an arbitrage. If I wanted to get in on this project, another layer is like, let's say that this price continues to drop, and you did buy it at 0.45, but it goes down and down to the point where it's not enough arbitrage opportunity to sell, like you're making $100, and that could be fine for you. You do it every day, perfect. I guess there's nothing wrong with that, but you might be like, I want to get into this collection, but it's obviously too expensive, and you could just do these blanket collection bids and go, you know what, the arbitrage is good, I'm going to sell it, or like 0.2 profit, for example, for like a couple of hours work. Obviously, the volume on this is low, so it wouldn't be like an instant flip. It would be like a day flip. That's or 6 or 12-hour flip. And then but in the event that the floor on this does drop to 0.5, then there's no point doing arbitrage. But you still got in at a good price because you wanted to get in on this collection anyway. If you can make an arbitrage, perfect, and then you're happy to. Keep flipping in that process. But if not, you're happy to hold because you wanted to get in anyway, and you want to sell it like 1 ETH. Yeah, so you're kind of playing like you're giving yourself outs or options, both sides of that coin. So enough of that video. It's just something to bear in mind and have a play around with, I think. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy it, and see you all on the next video. See ya.